I'm going to be talking now about 4 keys to leading at level 12. And that actually segues perfectly into the first key. And the first key is you have to build strength. You must get really strong. Has anyone noticed it's challenging out there? It's pretty tough, isn't it? You need to get strong, mentally and emotionally. So strong that whatever life throws at you, it's like, I'll deal with it. And if I can't deal with it, I'll find a way. I'll get people to help me, but nothing will break me. I love hearing the stories of resilient people that dealt with very tough, sometimes very tragic things, but were able to get through it and build that strength. How many people have ever heard of J.K. Rowling? J.K. Rowling, before all the success, was a single mother, stone broke, no job, battling depression, didn't know where things were going to come from, was just completely and utterly lost. And it was funny where she was actually on a train, looking out the window, looking at the countryside as the train went by, and the whole idea of Harry Potter came to her. It was just like this flash, this idea. She'd never written a thing before. And this whole concept of Harry Potter came to her, and she just started writing and writing and writing and writing. And she started telling her friends, I'm writing a book. What do you think they said? Hey, great, we got your back? You think they said that? No, they were again. What do you mean you're writing a book? You've never written a book. Why do you think you can write a book? Who's going to read your book? Why are you doing that? No support. She wrote the whole book, and then what do you think she did then? Sent it to publishers. And what do you think the publishers said? You're crazy. You've never written anything. A children's book? Don't you know children don't read? And they don't read books that thick. And that's when she said, well, that's the first of 7, and they get thicker as you go. But they thought she was nuts, but she was resilient. She didn't take no. She kept pushing. She kept going after her dream. And she kept sending out manuscripts, kept pushing them out. And I think it was Doubleday or one of the big companies. She kept going after the guy, going after the guy, going after the guy. And finally, he took the manuscript and did something very unexpected. He gave it to his young daughter and said, read this and tell me what you think. She devoured the book, came back to him and said, where's the next one? He had never seen anything like that. Went out and signed her right away and published the book. J.K. Rowling isn't a millionaire. She's a billionaire. That's with a B. Do you know what the difference between a million and a billion is? A million seconds is about 11 days. A billion seconds is about 33 years. J.K. Rowling is a billionaire because she was resilient, she was tough mentally and emotionally, she got tough even though she was battling that part of depression there. She got tough, she got strong, and she went after what she wanted. You've got to get real strong. Second key for leadership, you need to create a vision. You need to have a strong, powerful, vivid, emotionally compelling vision. Every great leader has had one. Think of Steve Jobs, one of the greatest examples of being a visionary. I mean, he could see things that people couldn't see, and it was so emotionally compelling. I mean, you read anything about Steve Jobs, he was not the nicest of people. He did not treat his people that well. He could be very rude in the way he spoke to them. But his vision was so powerful, so emotionally compelling, that people got excited by it. They could see making a difference not just in the company, but in the world. Being part of something so big was so ultra exciting. They didn't care that he was just such a rude person. I'll put up with it. The vision is something I want to be part of. Sometimes when you come up with that incredible vision of the things you want to do for your life and where you want to go, the things you want to create, you tell people and they think, come on, what's your problem? You've never done anything like that before. Why do you think you can do it now? Sometimes they'll think of you as being a fool. If they do, stand up and say, thank you. I don't want you to be a fool. I want you to be a greater fool. Do you know what a greater fool is? A greater fool is a person with the perfect blend of self-delusion and ego to believe that they can succeed where others have failed. Do you know what they call greater fools after they succeed? Visionaries. You've got a dream. Everyone's had that. You've got to make it real. You've got to make it compelling. If you want to lead anything, whether it's a family, a community-based organization, or a company, you need to have a vision. A vision is compelling to people. It is a true sense of purpose for people. I know where I'm going. I know what I want to achieve. I know in the process who I want to become. And it excites the hell out of me. That's the sort of thing that'll drive you to get up in the morning and keep you from going to sleep at night. It has been shown that when we talk about motivation, a true compelling vision with a strong sense of purpose is one of the most powerful motivational forces you can give yourself and other people. You've got to be excited about what we're doing and where we're going. Your mind works in imagery. You've got to give it the picture. And the more real it is, the more compelling it will be. The third key to leadership is you've got to embrace a sales mindset. The challenge we have in North America, Canada, United States, we have a disdain for sales. We're scared of sales. We don't like saying the word sales. Even if you're in sales, you don't want to call yourself a salesperson. I'm in account development, account management. I don't want to say I'm a salesperson. Bottom line, I'm sorry now to hurt your feelings. Bottom line, if you can't sell, you can't succeed. Salespeople are this. We have something of value, and we want a fair exchange of value. I believe in what I have, and I believe it can help you. And for the money you're going to pay me, I'm going to give you something that has more value. One thing about sales, people never buy for price. Price never sells. Value sells. When value exceeds price, people buy. But you've got to be excited about who you are. If you want a job, are you selling yourself? If you want a promotion, are you selling yourself? You've got to sell. It's okay. It's a good thing. I want you to embrace sales. Get good at it. How many people have ever had a sales job? Part-time, anywhere. Man, you should all go out and get a part-time job in sales just to experience what it's like to interact with people. If you can get good at sales, you can open up the doors of all opportunity. Anything you want is there, because you'll have the ability to influence other people elegantly and respectfully. If you want the job, you'll just blow people away. Because the vast majority of people, even people in sales, are terrible at it, which means you can walk in and just absolutely set a standard for what they're looking for. I mean, go out and learn everything you can about sales. Because the only way you're going to be able to achieve what you want in life is to sell. To say, stay on track, keep your values in line. Learn to sell. It'll probably be the single greatest power and resource you develop for yourself. Now, the last key for leadership is anytime you're working with a group of people, you've got to develop a high-performing culture. Culture is everything in an organization. Every action, every word that is spoken, every decision that is made in organizations today is a reflection of the culture of the organization. Have you ever walked into a company and looked around and it's like, oh my God. It's just like fingernails down a chalkboard. And then you walk into other organizations and it's just energy personified. You're like, oh my God, I would love to get a job with this company. Everyone's happy. Everyone's focused. Everyone's committed. They work long hours and they love it. They're treated well. They're treated with respect. Everyone has a fair opportunity. The growth opportunity is incredible. I mean, we look at companies like that and we want to get in there. You know what the problem is? So does everybody else. They've got this many applications for people, resumes that want to get in. The lineup is out the door. That's the benefit of creating a high-performing culture. And there's elements to create that culture. The first in creating a high-performing culture is you need strong, powerful communication within the organization. We speak in a positive sense. We don't have people coming in moaning, complaining. We don't have enough of this, and we don't have enough of this. And why do they get away with that? And how come they get so much? We don't have those people because that's not the language we speak. You know, we use words that are supportive. We use words that support our vision, that are focused on where we want to go. We use words that respect other people. And it's not just the words we use, it's how we say them. The second key within building a high-performing culture is what we focus on. We have our vision. We know where we want to go. We've set our goals. We're focused on that. We're focused on achieving it. You know what the biggest challenge in human behavior is? People tend to focus on what they don't want rather than what they want. How many people ever thought about, I got to get out of debt? You know what the challenge with that is? The moment you say, I want to get out of debt, what does your mind focus on? Debt. It doesn't matter if you want to get in, get out, or get around it. You've now brought your mind to debt. And that's what it's focused on. And you say, well, what do I do? What if you ask a different question? How can I become a great money manager? What do great money managers do? In fact, how can I become a great money manager and utilize those strategies to create wealth? Debt will never be a problem. You adopt those strategies, you work those strategies, debt will never be a problem. Remember, too, there's good debt. Mortgage is a good debt. You buy the house of your dreams. Revenue sometimes is a problem. Well, we've got to focus on what we want. Don't focus on losing weight. Often hear that. I've got to lose weight. Never, ever focus on losing weight. Focus on becoming healthy. Focus on what healthy people do. And do those same things. Your body is the most intelligent thing. It knows exactly what to do. If you do the right things in a healthy manner, your body will take care of the weight. You don't have to focus on it. It'll take care of it. You need to focus on where you want to go. You need to focus on the person you want to become. You need to focus on all the things that will take you there. Focus completely on where you want to go. Laser focused. And when you're working with a team, if you want to be a leader, you keep everyone focused on the same thing. And again, you go back to creating a vision. If you have that strong, powerful, compelling, emotionally compelling vision, you've given something to focus on. And I'll tell you, it's not just for an organization, you need it for yourself. If I were you, I'd be going out of here tonight and spending a little time by myself thinking, the next time I get asked where I'm going to be in 5 years, I'm going to have a detailed picture. I'll know exactly where I'm going. And here's one of the mistakes people make as well. It may be very challenging for you, and you may be thinking, but I don't know how to get there. Stay focused on the vision. also focus on the resources you need to get there, not just things, but people. Stay focused on it, you'll find a way.